Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Before we begin, let me briefly introduce Fitbud to those who might be new here. Fitbud empowers your fitness business with your very own iOS and Android app and a customizable website on your domain. It's an all in one platform for running your fitness business and establishing a solid digital brand. We also offer a 30-day free trial. You can schedule your free demo with our expert from the link that we'll just share in the chat. Moving on, today we have with us Mike, a fitness veteran with 15 plus years of personal training and nutrition expertise. As an IFBB pro bodybuilder, he has guided many clients to bodybuilding success, with his impact extending to 1,000 plus transformations and counting. Without further delay, let's welcome Mike to the virtual stage. Over to you, Mike.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Thank you for coming into the webinar today. How's everybody doing? So first, I want to know in the chat, you guys can respond. How many fitness coaches do I have that are actual prep coaches and consider themselves a show prep coach? Just answer yes, I am. Or maybe on the other hand, you're thinking of doing it. You're currently a lifestyle coach, but you're looking for some insight on how to implement your Fitbud technology into your show prep idea. Cool. Okay, we're getting a couple. They're thinking of doing this. Definitely interesting, considering. Okay. Very good. I like that. So you guys will all be super receptive to what I'm saying, and kind of giving you some insight, because I did start where you guys are. I started as a lifestyle coach, athletic coach, actually really helping people, elderly seniors, get back, from injuries and, rehabilitation. And then I actually got into bodybuilding myself. And then after doing that for some years, along came the idea, let me help others get, in stage, shape and be ready for it. So let's go ahead and run through the presentation that we have. And basically what I'll do is I'll take all questions at the end. But you guys, if you have questions, you can fire them off, each slide to slide, whatever you have, let me know. And then I'll do my best at covering all those questions afterwards. All right, let's do this. All right, so this is a quick context index. You guys can take a look at that. Oh, switch quickly, but we're just going to go over and understand what's going on in the presentation. So basically, understanding a show prep, you guys understand that, in order to attain and get on stage, attain a certain shape, you're going to have to get in shape. So that's going to be a much more vigorous diet. It's going to be much more vigorous training, specific training, if you will. So that's something that you have to take in consideration. It's going to be a little different than dieting somebody that's just losing to lose weight, excuse me, or, get into, say, better shape for a wedding or something like that. This is much more vigorous. This is much more entailed and in-depth type of training, because there's a bigger goal at hand. So to kind of go a little bit deeper on peak physical condition, this is basically what we're wanting to get into. So basically where we're trying to hit the finish line, we need to get to a presentable body fat. So you're, on stage and you're confident in your poses, and the judges are seeing what they want to see. They know that you've really put in the work to be up on stage, because in bodybuilding, it's a very, very analytical sport. They're going to be biased to what they prefer. So say, a judge is looking for you guys to be very, very in shape, but they want to see a good condition in terms of fullness and muscle. They want to see dryness in the muscle. So it's a lot of, variables that you got to attain and, to reach that peak physical performance. So that's basically what the end all be all goal is going to be here in a show prep. All right, first and foremost, let's kind of cover the classes, and not all of them are going to be posted right here, but there's different types of classes in bodybuilding, okay? you're going to have, for one, bodybuilding, and that can be male or female. All right. So the male or female bodybuilder is going to have the most amount of muscle. All right. They're going to be the biggest structures, if you will. And then that's based off of, symmetry, balance, overall condition, shape, and just presentation, obviously, of the physique. But that'll categorize in every single category that we have here. Moving on, we have physique. This is actually both male and female. You have and they're completely different in terms of shape and what they're looking for. So male physique is going to be what you see the guys with the board shorts, and they're not really posing their legs per se. They're more posing their upper half, more model like material of a physique. And then on the female side, you're going to have a physique where it's going to be very similar to body, just slightly more streamlined. You're going to have females with excessive amount of muscle, but very, very nice features and nice muscle bellies. Okay. Moving onward to bikini. This is one of the most popular classes among bodybuilding. This is a newer class, the last 10 years or so that it's really come into a full effect, probably less than that actually, but huge amount of emphasis on bikini and bodybuilding. This is going to be a much more tapered down muscularity wise. This is only for females. And it's going to give a good encompass of the physique, because it's a nice full physique, something you like to see on a beach, but still in the same sense going to be very tight and toned of a look and a feature in that you're looking for feature wise in a physique. Figure is going to be basically just a tad bit more muscle. Well, not tad, probably a little bit more than a tad, I'd say, than bikini, but still very streamlined physique. Poses are going to be completely different for each class. You got to also could take that in consideration. And that's something that we'll cover later on in the slides in the presentation. So figure is actually one of my favorite to coach. This is just for female. It's a female class only. Just the whole look and what the class brings, I feel like it brings elegance to bodybuilding. I really enjoy coaching figure competitors. Fitness modeling, this is like a genre. All right, so you don't have this class per se in bodybuilding, but what you do have is like different federations, and to kind of go into that without going too far into that, different federations like IFBB is going to be your top notch. This is where the pro bodybuilders, this is the most prestigious federation. And then you have like the WBFF, where this fitness modeling would be something of a class that they would have, which is more, I would say, in like a pageant sense. They're very similar in terms of competing when it comes to getting ready for the show, dieting, the training, etc., but definitely a different genre of overall bodybuilding federation. So that's the basis of the classes, guys. If you have any questions on those, I'm sure you guys did. I'm trying to cover as much as I can without overloading you. So if you have questions about any of these slides so far, go ahead and throw those in there. Let's move on here to show prep duration. So this is going to be very contingent upon your clientele. And what I mean by that is, where's their starting point? Everybody's going to have a different level of fitness when they come to you. Either one, case in point, they've never competed before, but they're thinking about it. Or you have somebody that's competed before, but necessarily maybe isn't in the greatest shape, or maybe doesn't have the best genetics, and it's going to take maybe a little bit longer to prepare. Then you have somebody who is a veteran and has done this and been doing this for some time, but knows kind of where his niche is. Or per se, or let's say that you have somebody like me that's done show preps, and you have a specific amount of time that you want to elect for show prep, and you don't offer anything less than that. So necessarily, I don't like prepping people under 16 weeks. I like to do at least a 16-week prep, because you have to think as a show, or as a coach, or a show coach, you have to know that preservation is key. You have to think about what's going to preserve your client and what's going to get them to the stage and look the best. So those are things that you're going to have to consider when you're thinking about show prep duration. For instance, just to give you guys some insight, I offer a 16-week, a 20-week, and a 24-week prep. So like I said, the 16-week prep, is my lowest. Now, have I prepped people under 16 weeks? Absolutely. But it's very contingent upon what they're at, what state they're at when they're coming to me for the show prep. So show prep duration. Let's move on. Show prepping with Fitbudd. This is where I feel like my business really took off. When I was able to implement Fitbudd and the organization that it really allows you to have as a fitness coach, or excuse me, a prep coach and fitness coach in general, as we know, um, it just allowed me to encompass much more of my creativity, much more of my organization, and I push mindset very, very hardly with my people. So I like to have communication with them 24/7, which is one of my favorite things on the app is the chat option. I absolutely love that. And as we go in depth and break down how the app works, you guys are going to see how awesome it is to be able to use Fitbudd with your show prep and take it from a coach that started, this better part of 20 years ago now, where I was emailing and text messaging and I'm scrambling through trying to find documents and maybe my clients check in pictures from this month, and it was a mess. It was all over. My emails were a mess. It was much more unorganized. And then along came Fitbud. So moving onward. All right, show prep training with Fitbud. So basically it entails everything you need. And the best part about all of it is it's all within the app. There's no scrummaging through, your emails, past text messages, notes on your phone or what have you. So my favorite thing, like I said, is the communication with my clients. I love having that communication and having it all based within the app, because I can just say, hey, reference, my progress here, take a look at this, and kind of just use it all within the app while I'm talking with my clients. The customized workouts are fantastic because as coaches, as trainers, we know, hey, you're going to have different clients that are going to have different areas of concentration. Maybe one client needs to focus more on glutes. Maybe one client needs to focus more on upper body. So, the workouts are great because they're all customized and personalized to the person. The nutrition planning is very, very crucial. We all know nutrition, without it, there's no results. I don't care if you train till you're blue in the face, without the nutrition aspect, you're not gonna achieve the goals and the aspirations that you have set for yourself. So my favorite thing as a coach, alongside with the chat, is progress monitoring. Mostly because, for one, it helps me show my client what they're not seeing. So I can't tell you over the last 15 years that I've had clients go, oh, I just don't see it. I don't know if you're, just blowing smoke up my butt or whatever. And then boom, I jump on Fitbud and I put a side by side together in the compare section that we have on the app. And I go, are you sure about that? And they look at it and they're like, oh my God, I never seen this. I never looked at it like this before. Thank you so much for sharing this. And then you get this like checkpoint of like, ready to roll. They get this like, revibrance in them, and they're ready to reapply themselves to their goals. So that's one of my favorite things, the progress monitoring. The communication and feedback is essential. Without communication in any relationship, especially a client and a coach, you're setting yourself up for failure if the communication is not on point. Goal setting is fantastic. There's several different variations and variables within the app that you're able to set goals for your client, whether that be a measurement goal, a weight goal, or just a composition goal in their body. So the education and resources is a newer option that I've noticed on the app. I haven't utilized it the best that I can to my ability, but what I do love about it is, say you get a newer client, and this isn't just for show prep, this is any client, you're able to kind of like show them how to spice up a meal and let them know that, like, dieting doesn't have to be boring. So I've done that. I've put up some, meal preps, ideas, just some quick meals ideas and stuff like that. And then I did do like a heart healthy shake. And that was awesome because my clients like, hey, I never thought about this. I didn't know this was okay to use. And, they kind of get a closer relationship with you and able to kind of build more of a rapport. So let's move on. Customized workout plans. Kind of touched about that a little bit before in the previous slide, but we have the ability on Fitbud to really personalize our workout plans, which is absolutely essential. Each person's going to have a different goal. They're going to have a different area of focus. And in a show prep specifically, it's your job as a coach to pinpoint what those inconsistencies in your client's physique are. Where do you need to keep that focus and that detail on? So the customized workout plans within Fitbud are absolutely crucial. What I love about them is you can change them day to day. You could change them, minute to minute. It's live, and it's just not like you have to wait for it to load, which is fantastic because that client feels connected to you and vice versa 24/7. So one of my favorite options there. The exercises, what I love about it is that it actually shows a shows a diagram if you can. And what also is great is you can add notes into it, which I do, and I use that note section. So if you guys aren't using that note section, I highly suggest that, because tempo of a workout or a movement is very, very important, especially when you're training for a purpose, for like a show. It's very important to know how to engage the muscle, very important to know the time under tension for that muscle. So within the app, they've done a fantastic job of allowing you to manipulate all those different variables: time under tension, whether it's a superset, a tri-set, or you're going to do a cluster set. And anything that's not in the options or in the variables loaded in the app, you can add into the add notes, which makes it very manageable. So moving on. The infamous cardio. Nobody likes to do cardio, right? I mean, I personally love it in the morning, gets me going, gets that cardiac rhythmia going, and sets it for the day. So I love it. And what I love about Fitbud is they give you a good little glimpse of what the cardio is going to entail. You can add a notes section. And my favorite option, which my clients aren't very fond of, is I can set those tempos to absolutely as high as I want to, and bust their ass and really make sure that they're putting in the work. And I like that I'm able to basically create any type of cardio I want. The Fitbud does a very good job finding any type of cardio you want to implement, whether that be cycling, stair mill, or you want to go on the elliptical. They have it all. So cardio is crucial, especially in show prep. And what's great is you can put a lapsed time on the cardio and make sure that your clients are fulfilling that cardio within the app by checking their progress. Workouts. So what I like about the workouts is you're able to implement different, like I said, different supersets, different trisets, stuff like that. Once you add these exercises, you can change as many variables on them as possible. You can change, the rep range. You can change the variation and time under tension, if you want that to be repetition, or if you want that to be timed. If it's an elapsed time, then it's basically more a time under tension. For instance, like a wall sit. I use the duration setting for my clients when they're doing wall sits for 30 seconds, or a plank per se for 30 seconds or a minute, or whatever I have set into that variable exercise. So the exercises are very, very, very broad. But what's great about Fitbud is you can go ahead and put in the search button, hey, I want to do, a lunge, weighted lunge with, or a transverse lunge with backward movement or whatever. And you can make up your own exercise. And the Fitbud library, if the Fitbud library doesn't have it in it, you can utilize whatever knowledge you have on yourself and still implement that into your exercise and workout library, which I absolutely love, because you're not stuck just using what's there. You have a wide range, and it continues to grow, which is great. So moving on. Workout schedules. What I love most about the workout schedules is my clients like to know what they're doing, 3 weeks down the road. So what this is great is you can implement, hey, for X amount of weeks from say week 16 to week 12, you're going to follow this program with this much cardio. Then weeks 11 through 8, you're going to follow this one. So what I love about that is it kind of gives a preview, if you will, because as you'll know, if you're a prep coach now, or if you're going to get into it, nothing is going to be set in stone. And that's what's great about the app, is you can just, by one click, boom, and you're in the app, you're changing whatever you need to change, and it's live. Your client has, it's like literally, I can't tell you how many times I've been like, hey, sorry, I'm on a plane, I'm traveling, whatever, 1 sec, jump on my phone, pop in the, change or whatever I need to do within their program, and within seconds they have it. And they love that because they constantly feel like they have a connection to you. So that's one of my favorite things about the workout schedules and just the overall app implementations. Moving on. We can go move on from here because this is a assigned workout schedule. It's kind of touched upon already. All right. So nutrition planning. I'm a huge advocate of nutrition planning. How could you not be as a coach? But with show prep, it takes it to another level. So basically, like I said, everything's accounted for in a show prep. There's no exceptions. I tell my clients, listen, it may take you a week or two to get acclimated to a regular lifestyle diet or a regular, whatever. But when you're jumping into a show prep, I expect 100% without any diversion whatsoever from the program. That's expected from week 16 all the way to week 1. So if you're learning how to diet for the first time, probably shouldn't be doing a show prep. And I try to stress that to my people and my clients and potential clients that come to me. I always push them, try to do a lifestyle coach, or excuse me, a lifestyle coaching program first, just so they can understand what it is, what nutritional planning actually entails and what it demands from you, as a human being. So moving onward. So the meal plans are great because you can put any type of nutrition you want in there, and say that your client has a issue with dairy, or your client has an issue with chicken. There's an allergy in the variable, right? You can make sure that those clients don't ever have those meal or those elements in their meal plan by adding notes into their meal plan. And you can make those meal plans specific for clients. Like, once you get up to a certain amount of clients, 50, 40, 50, 60, it's hard to always remember the relative relationships that you have with your clients. So notes are going to save your butt. And one of the things I love doing is, if I have a client that, say, doesn't eat seafood, or is strictly seafood and is a pescatarian, if you will, and has, just a abnormal diet regiment, I love to put notes in that person's meal plan. I'll actually assign meal plan templates, like a pescatarian or a vegetarian, and I'll make that meal plan for that person, and I'll just make it specifically for somebody that has that allergy. So the meal plans can be utilized very well. That's the meal schedules I was kind of talking about. So, and then, all right, so supplementation. This is something that I love about the app, that encompasses, because a lot of people don't realize how important supplementation is. I personally have a sponsorship through Chemix. They are a fantastic supplement brand. It's called Chemix Lifestyle. That's just my choice, because I'm very fond of their supplementation and the ingredients in them. So that's kind of what I've used in my supplementation for my clients. And I've broken it down into two basic, ideas. I do a performance based, and I do a health based, basically. So the health based one is going to be like, your turmeric, your TUDCA, stuff like that. That's for your internal organs, stuff like that. It's going to help prevention and digestive enzymes, probiotics, stuff like that. That's all going to be listed in your health. And then your performance subs are going to be things like your creatine, your ATP, you're going to be your essential amino acids, your proteins, your pre-workouts, your nitric oxides, your intro workouts. So supplementation is very, very important, and it can actually be, monitored by, according to the person. So you can do female or male, or say somebody's like, hey, you know what, intro workouts upset my stomach. Well, that person's going to have, a little bit modified from the supplement template for my male version. So I love the versatility in the program. You're able to switch things out, add things in. And one of the best things about it, if you get commission based, on like your sponsorships, or if you have an affiliation with like an Amazon account, you can go ahead and put your link right in there. And as soon as the clients go on there and they buy all the supplements that you're suggesting, you're going to get that return on investment because you're going to get the automatic discount, or excuse me, not the discount, but the credit for the sale, which I love that option. That was super, super, smart of them to implement that. So supplements are key, and I highly suggest using that option. It's great because you can assign these to your clients, kind of like what I was saying. You can basically do a supplement meal plan, but you can add two different types of workouts, or excuse me, diet plans. So you can do a training day diet plan, which I utilize quite often. It depends on obviously the clientele and what they're what they're trying to attain. Are they a carb cycle person or not? But I've used off day, on day diets. I've used high carb, low carb diets. So that's a good option to have within the app. And what's great is you can see how things are working by using the chat option and keeping contact with your clients. I'm actually seeing some of your guys' comments. This is cool. I'm happy that you guys are finding this helpful. And if I'm, like I'm saying, I'm just rambling through it. I love this stuff. So I just kind of, start to talk and talk, but I'll run through all these questions afterwards, and I'll make sure I answer everything you guys got going. So progress monitoring. This is kind of what I touched upon earlier with your clientele. And what I love about it is that even if they're not seeing it, pictures don't lie, right? So as soon as you put those side by sides up together and see their face light up through excitement through a chat, or if you're on a video call with them and they go, "Oh my God, I didn't notice." And I'm like, yeah, look at the composition, because a lot of people in general, male and female, get so caught up in a scale weight. And you can't, because case in point, progress should not only be determined by your weight, it should be composition. And the reason why I'm saying that is I can't tell you how many clients I have that are at the same weight they are when they started, or just a few pounds under, and they look completely different, like a completely different person, because their body composition has made such an improvement and a progress forward. So the progress monitoring on this app is honestly, it's next level. And I think, actually, I know that the progress monitoring has helped me retain my clientele as well as I have. And because everyone wants to see, right? Everybody, seers are believers. So everybody wants to see the progress, and the progress monitoring is absolutely next level. Let's move on. So one of my things I have touched upon is how people are training, but necessarily their tempo or their time under tension may be incorrect. What is absolutely awesome about the Fitbud app is you're able to track all that. So for instance, this is a back and biceps workout. You could see on the notes here, I've added some notes in how I want the tempo followed, but I've also added in how many rep ranges I want. Say I want a 12 to 15 rep variance. I need to make sure that my clientele excuse me, is utilizing their ability, the best of their ability, to the best of their ability. I need to make sure that the client is training with the right intensity, and the app is going to show that. So if I'm seeing that the client's only lifting the same amount of weight, XYZ, for 3-4 rep ranges and or sets, I need to make sure that that's got progressive upload. I need to make sure that those rep ranges are getting hit every single time, and then that client is training at the intensity that they need to be training to get to the level that we're trying to attain. So the app does an awesome job at giving the client all the tools necessary to track their progress, track their weights, and it also gives me on the back end eye and a visual to see all this and make sure that it's actually happening, getting done. So logging the meals and tracking the nutrition, just as important, obviously, actually probably more important than the exercises and weight training. Watching that and analyzing that. The nutrition aspect is extremely important, because it's going to show whether or not your client is implementing the stuff that they're eating, whether that be a lifestyle or show prep. You can see whether or not that client is following what they're supposed to be following, and giving you full effort. So nutrition and meal tracking of that nutrition is very important. Speaking of trends and compliance, on the next slide here, this is one of my favorite things, especially for my clients that are a little bit resistant to me, in terms of, and I won't say resistant to me, maybe just resistance to allowing themselves to be great and change. They're holding themselves back. So I'll throw this at them and say, hey, listen, if you're doing everything, why is your program say you're only following your nutrition 50%? Why is your training saying that you're only solidifying your workouts 37%? That if you're giving 100%, these should all be 100%. And I'm not saying that some of my clients, because they do, fulfill these and not put them into the app, but if you're having a client who's losing focus or can't stay on track, these things within the app, these variables within the app, and having them track them and put them in their phone is going to keep their focus and keep them engaged. And that's my absolute favorite thing about it, is that they're able to say, hey, you know what? You're right. Let me get back on the app. Let me start implementing these things. And I can't tell you how many times it's fixed clients that are kind of on the wall, like whether or not they want to quit or whether or not it's for them or whatever the case may be. Once they start utilizing the app and engaging with it, it becomes almost like a video game to them. They're like, oh, well, I'm doing this and I'm seeing progress. And the rest is history. 3-4 weeks down the road of doing it the right way, and they're seeing all this amazing progress. And then all of a sudden, implementing everything into the app becomes fun. So one of my favorite things about the trends and compliance. The workout feedback. This is great because, like I said, time under tension in the workouts is important. So is the tempo of my cardio. So if I have a cycling, for instance, this is a great example. I have a tempo that I want followed. So that doesn't mean for my clients, hey, that's a cool reciprocal bike right there. I'm going to jump on it and just pedal and think about rainbows and butterflies. No, we got work to do. So I want a tempo followed exactly how it's posted. And if you're not following that tempo exactly how it's posted, it's going to show, for one, in your physique. And then the backup is going to be, hey, within the app, you're not following this tempo. There's no way. Because if you were, here would be the results. So workout feedback and cardio feedback is very important. As I said, communication and feedback, very important. Direct messages, the first thing I touched upon. My absolute favorite thing about the app is the communication through the direct message. I love it because it gives a privacy, for one, to you and your clients, and keeps everything outside. Like, say you have a leisure line, you don't have to have your clientele, especially if you're training people that you don't necessarily know personally, or if you're training people all over the world. Text messaging and stuff like that can get complicated. You got to use another app like WhatsApp, or if you will. Now with this app, everything is it's all here. I can train anyone I want all over the world, different clients in different states, different clients in different countries, and all the communications right in Fitbudd. It's fantastic. I don't even have apps that I use anymore for communication. It's all within the app. Broadcast messages. This is one of my favorite tools. If you have me as a coach, I know some of my clients actually have Fitbudd. So if you guys are on here, I'm corny with the broadcast messages sometimes. I just sometimes I wake up and I'm feeling good and I'm like, hey, Sunday starts there, sets the tone for the rest of the week, and I'll bounce it out to all my people. And I think that it really helps engage. And my people that know me personally and have been with me 4 or 5 years, they'll just LOL it, or hey, have a great day, coach, or something like that. But like my newer clientele, they love it. They're like, thank you so much. I needed this today. And even though it's a broadcast message and everyone in your clientele's getting it, some people just are much more receptive to it. They're very taken back by it, and it helps them feel more engaged. So the broadcast messagings are great for that reason, and many more. The video calls is a great option. And you can time these from like 15 minutes all the way up to like 45 or an hour, I think. So very invasive. And these are great. I implement 2 of these a month with my show preps. And obviously, if my clients need it more than that for posing or something along those lines, I'll do that too. But the video calls are great to touch base. And like I said, come back to your client, have that rapport with each other, and that connection, and make sure that you guys are on the same page. And there's nothing more personal than a face-to-face conversation with somebody. The goal setting I touched upon earlier, there's so many variables within the app that you can put different goal standards and stuff like that you have set. But basically the weight measurement goals, and if say you have a goal set in mind, like, hey, I want to get down to X amount of body fat. All right, well, we know that that's got to be broken down week by week. So that means we got to lose 1.2 pounds of weights per week, or whatever the case may be, to get to that goal. So it gives like a structured plan and gives your clientele some reassurance, which is absolutely amazing. So the education and resources I talked about a little bit earlier on the resources page. I'm going to start utilizing that much more, just with workouts. And I'm going to start doing like a follow me along workouts. I have a few up there now, and I've had awesome response from my clients with those. They love it. I think I could do a much better job at being more connected with them through their workouts now that I have this option to upload the resources and stuff like that, with different, say, even cooking or say stretching, stuff like that, videos. I could help them learn things that they probably weren't aware that were available out there. So, and that could be things like even from other coaches or whatever, like if I want to share a link or what have you. So you could add all these resources right into the app, and videos as well, pictures. I love the resources app, honestly, or resources part of the app. Go ahead and move on. So pricing strategy, this is something that everybody is going to be a little hesitant on, especially if you're first starting off. You don't know what to charge. You don't know what your demographic is. And at that point, I would tell you, or anyone that I was mentoring in something like this, you have to know your value. You have to know what your price is for your time, if you will. And also to, you have to be respectable with the amount of years you have under your belt, the amount of experience, and what you bring to the table, what you feel you're worth, if you will. So that pricing strategy is very important. And what it does for your clientele is it kind of lets them know where you are, what level you're at, and what you're going to deliver to them for that price. So just to give you guys an idea of what my pricing, or how my payment plans were run, I have one-time and subscriptions. So basically the one-time plans are going to be a little bit discounted. They're going to give a little bit more incentive to get that full payment in. And honestly, a lot of clientele that I have, they just enjoy getting it out of the way, not having to worry about another monthly bill coming in. And so I kind of like reward them, if you will, if they'll pay in full. Sometimes, like I say, it's a PT, like a one-on-one, that I'm actually seeing these people in person. If they're paying in full, I might give them a free session. So if you could do that, implement that with it online as well. If they're paying in full, then maybe you give them, free 30 days or something along those lines. But those are great options within the app, and you're able to kind of change up however you want, according to whatever way you want to offer your pricing, which I love about the app. Just to give you guys a glimpse, this is my price points. And this is just for my show prep. I do lifestyle dieting. I have a ton of clients that are not in show prep, but just to give you guys a idea, that's why I included both. So my level 1 membership is going to be the most basic. You're going to get a workout plan, a basic diet plan based off of your weight and your size, but it's not custom per se. It's not personalized per se. That's going to be my level 2 and level 3, which aren't pictured here, but my level 2 and level 3 have 2-week bi-weekly check-ins, and then also a weekly check-in with level 1, a little bit more invasive. So those price points go up. I believe I'm at $30, $99, and then $174.99, I believe, for my level 3. And the level 3 is going to be, obviously, out of those 3, the most invasive. But you want to make sure that your price points are respectable, like I said, and you're going to be delivering something that is going to be worth that price. So to pertain to just the show prep pricing, These are my what I offer, and basically it's a 6 month, 5 month, 4 month, and then I have a monthly and a weekly option. Some people just decided they want to do the weekly, but each step in my pricing is going to award a cheaper price based off of how long the duration of the prep is. So if you're 6 months, obviously going to be cheaper per month if it's broken down than it is by the monthly. And these prices are, you know 15 years in the making. So if you're thinking, oh, maybe that's expensive, or maybe, hey, that's cheap, I need to be more expensive, that's going to be contingent on entirely your clientele and what you offer in your show prep. Obviously, my expertise, my knowledge in the sport, the time in the sport, my accolades that I've added to my arsenal of accomplishments, those are all those variables that I'm taking into account when I'm making these prices up, or I'm delivering this to a client in a consultation. So at this point, guys, I want to conclude the presentation and open it up for any questions in the Q&A. We'll start going through the ones that came in through, and then anyone else that wants to add in.
So, Mike, before we jump into your questions, let me quickly introduce Fitbud to those who joined late and don't have access to the platform yet. So, in
Okay.
summary, Fitbud helps you grow your fitness business with the power of your own app on iOS and Android. Our platform is the only tool you'll need to seamlessly run your fitness business and build a solid digital brand. For those interested in experiencing Fitbud firsthand, we offer a 30-day free trial. To explore more, please schedule a demo with our team. We'll share the link in the chat just after the Q&A session ends. So, guys, Mike will take over and answer all your questions. We've got a lot of them.
Good. I love questions, and it makes me feel good, like when you guys are receptive to what I'm saying. It makes me feel like I'm not wasting my time or yours. So let's see what we got here. First one. Oh, cool. I like Alejandro Comics is my favorite brand. I carry that at my store. Yeah, it is a great brand, dude. The owner is awesome, and he is a freaking genius. You ever talk to him for more than 5 minutes, you're gonna feel real stupid. He's very intelligent, and I love being part of his company, man. I do, Tracy. I put the supplements what I was speaking on earlier. I put the links in the app, so that way when they click on it, it has my discount code already in the link, and then they can go ahead and click it, and I get my my little compensation for it. So it's awesome. Let's see. It says click now. Okay. Let me take an iPhone. Okay, so will I be talking on the phone with my client, or is everything done through the app? Everything is done through the app. The video calls are done through the app. They're scheduled within the app, and then they're also done within the app, which is freaking awesome. I love it. Like I said, your leisure line never needs to be exposed unless you want to. And really, clientele that I've never met before, or different states or different countries, they don't need to have my leisure line. So it's awesome to have it all done within the app. I love that, actually. Here's a good one. How has or how has been your experience working with female strength athletes, like powerlifters who want to lean out, especially on lower body? Does the bikini style training or more uh, LLS helps in changing the size of the muscles, assuming calorie deficient is taken care of? So I would definitely not even have bikini and powerlifting or strength athletes really in the same sentence. Powerlifters are gonna need much more food. You guys are like freaking hot rods, right? You need a little bit higher octane. So you're going to need a little bit more food, not a little bit, a lot more food. You're exerting more energy. And then your training is going to be entirely different, obviously, as you know. But it's in terms of just caloric intake, just based on your training, you would need definitely probably double the amount of food than a bikini athlete. Outside of those bikini athletes, that some of them that I have that can put down 2,500 calories like it ain't nobody's business. They can eat, but still, even more so in terms of muscle growth, you would definitely want to have a different program there for a power lifter, regardless if it's a caloric deficit or not. Does military count for something on the app? My man, military counts for something everywhere. If I was ex-military, thank you for your service. If I was ex-military, I would definitely let people know that, because when I talk to somebody that's ex-military, I automatically respect them a little bit more. So definitely put that in there. They know what type of training you've been through. They know that you're mentally strong, so they're going to listen to you and be a little bit more open to hearing what you have to say, my man. Just ran into my first client through the summer shredding weekend, Mike. You would love to connect with you on Instagram. My page is Daniel's Son Fitness. Danielson Fitness. All right, cool, man. Hey, Danielson Fitness. Daniel, I would love to connect with you, man. Hit me up. I'm swollen_pitbull on Instagram. You can check out my couple business pages. I have Inspire Brand on Instagram and Fitbit Fitness on Instagram. Hit me up and we'll get to chatting, man. Thanks for the presentation. You're welcome, Anthony. Thanks for coming, man. Appreciate you. Can you share a basic nutrition plan for bodybuilding with this app? You can share any type of nutrition app that you want. If you're asking me personally to share one, I don't think I can reshare a screen right now, but basically, it's usually about a 5 to 6 meal regimen, depending on if it's male or female. My female clients are usually 5 meals. Like my bikini clients, I do have some figure clients that are in 6 meals. It depends on the person and the caloric intake, of course. But for bodybuilders, I have bodybuilders that are on 6 meals. Some of them are on 7 meals. It depends on their output in their day, how much calorically that they're needing to take in, because based on how much they're burning through the day. Their jobs are different. There's so many different variables that come into effect, but basically for males 6 to 7, and basically for females 5 to 6 meals a day. Says, all right, I am having issues with communicate or customization workouts and meal plans in the app. I'm not sure exactly what issues you're having, Glenn, but this is like a super user-friendly app. So any questions you have, the team at Fitbud will be able to help you out, because they're absolutely amazing and very responsive. And if you can contact me in any way, I'm be willing to help you. I like to think myself pretty versed on the app at this point. I've been with them almost since the start. Yeah, hit me up if you have any issues, man. This is like the easiest app ever. I love the software. Okay, I know this is mainly aimed at show prep clients, but can it be just effective when gen pop clients? Absolutely. I just happen to cover the show prep portion of it, but I do, like I said at the beginning of the presentation, I have a ton of clients that aren't in show prep and aren't prepping for shows. So absolutely, obviously the programs would be changing on the variables of what that person's goals are to get to, but for the most part, everything can be attained through diet and exercise. Okay, this is great. Abs seem easy to maneuver. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for coming on. I'm glad you like the app. Super easy to use. I love it too. All right. Thank you, Andy's Boxing. Learned a lot. Appreciate you coming. How can we access these meal plans and workouts and on the site? I think you're speaking maybe pertaining to me. If you go to my website, which is app.fitbitfitness.com, and then you go to plans, it's pretty much set up like that for everybody that has the Fitbud app on their phone or the software. And then you would just actually go ahead and look at that. And I have all my plans listed there, from my Fitbit training guide all the way down into my personal training one-on-one posing. Let's see. Just followed you, boss. Daniel, my man. Thank you, buddy. I'll give you a follow back here shortly. Great class. Thank you. I appreciate it, Lorenzo, man. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you guys. Is it possible to connect and have a more in-depth chat about pricing on the app? Absolutely. You could either do that with Fitbud. They could walk you through that. Or if you're looking for more insight on what I was speaking on earlier, a little bit more in depth, or you have maybe some more questions, go ahead and hit me up. I'll be willing to help you out, Lloyd. Should I make a workout video of me? Absolutely. I think that that's one of the best things that the app offers. And I'm definitely going to start using that a little bit more. I have a home gym. I have no excuse not to. So I think I'm going to start doing that a little bit more. And what's cool is you can actually upload those in place of the exercise diagram on all the workouts. So if you really wanted to go crazy, you could put a video up of yourself doing everything: biceps, curls, triceps, push downs, squats, everything. So, there you go. Thanks, John. I appreciate you, buddy. Glad you like the info. What certification or institute would you recommend someone who's interested in nutrition? I would, if you're not already in school for it, I did go to school a bit for it, but I would suggest NASM. They have an awesome program, and it's a nutrition specialist program. I actually have the certification. It's actually really good because you're going to be pertaining to an actual genre of people that you're wanting to diet. So having that accolade to be able to say, hey, I'm a nutrition specialist, that's very, very good. And I learned a ton on it. Going in, knowing a lot, and walking out knowing even more was very awesome. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming to the chat. You're labeled as FN, but I'm not sure who you are, but thank you for coming. Can you share the link here about the plans? Yeah, I'll share it at the bottom here. It's just app.fitpitfitness.com. Those are my personal plans. We'll have access to the app today. Tracy, I don't know if I understand your question entirely. I don't know if it pertains to me, to be honest. Jason Holloway, my Instagram is swollen_pitbull. Hope to talk to you soon, buddy. Can you explain details up in the chat? I missed what you said before. Hey, Lloyd, this is actually going to be, I think they upload it to YouTube. I'm not sure how quickly that happens, but everybody that missed the actual presentation will be able to see the entire thing once it's uploaded on YouTube. Oh, it looks like they shared. Thanks, Fitbud. Appreciate you guys. See, I told you, I always got my back. There's my Instagram, everybody, right there. Okay, thank you for all your time and info. Much appreciated. I love the app and have a lot of clients that struggle to get lifestyle change in their lives. But as a bikini competitor myself, I feel like I could actually do this for others and give them a chance. Hey, I'll tell you what, I think you can too, because you have confidence in yourself, and it sounds like you are very, very ready to take on this challenge. So I would suggest go ahead and doing that, starting off with your first client. Maybe take somebody under your wing, a friend of yours, or somebody that you need to give a trial to yourself. You know what I mean? Make sure that you want to be a coach, because you're going to take in a lot of those emotions that other person's feeling too. And sometimes this job could be a little taxing. So spread your energy efficiently, and make sure that's something you want to do, because lifestyle coaching and show prep coaching are two completely different things. I promise. Best of luck to you. Babs, thank you very much. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. And it looks like that's just about it, guys. I appreciate everybody's questions. I hope I did a good job on answering everybody. And like I said, if you have any questions or more, need to talk more, hit me up.